And we are in this other video. Welcome, thank you for joining us. And this video should be like 10-20 minutes long. Just going to play this and we will give the nation, well, at least my perspective on that. See what's going on here.
Southern Nevada is abuzz tonight with stories about the crash of an unknown object and the alleged sighting of strange creatures in the backyard of a Northwest Valley home.
So it was last night that 8 News Now investigator David Charnes reported about how Metro Police responded back on May 1st after receiving a strange call from a very frightened family. Well, our report generated a global response, and now piecing together the sequence of events has been kind of tricky, in part because the primary witnesses have been almost as elusive as the beings they say they encountered. Chief Investigator George Knapp is as perplexed as the rest of us. George.
As you know, this is not our first UFO rodeo. We first heard about the incident in early May via the Metro Police grapevine. The incident has a lot in common with other bizarre cases from around the world: an alleged crash, strange beings, and bits and pieces that don't make sense. But the police took this seriously, and so do we. Just before midnight on April 30th, skywatchers across several western states saw a bright fireball streak through the heavens. A police officer working in the Northwest Valley caught a glimpse of the colorful object on his body cam. At nearly the same time, a Ring camera in the area recorded a strange noise and what sounds like a crash. One family living in a ranch-style home had a much closer view of the object. Two brothers and their father were working on a vehicle in their yard when they caught a glimpse of a sparkly object as it came crashing down, then were hit by what they describe as a shock wave. One of the witnesses, a young man named Angel, has stated when the brothers looked into the yard where the object landed, that spot was obscured and blurry, as if by unknown form of camouflage. What they saw next prompted a frantic call to 911.
So there's two people or two subjects that are in your backyard?
Correct, and they're very large. They're like 8 foot, 9 feet, 10 foot. I don't know. They look like aliens to us. Big eyes. They have big eyes, like I can't explain it, and big mouth. They're shiny eyes, and they're not human. They're 100% they're not human.
8 News Now investigators have spoken with family members multiple times in the past 4 weeks, but each of the 3 times we accepted their invitation to do an interview, they didn't answer the door or their phone. These are some of the claims they've made in other public forums. Multiple family members backed up the story in an initial police report we obtained. Angel says they heard the patter of multiple feet in the yard. They later heard footsteps on their roof. They saw one of the 8-foot-tall creatures climb behind the controls of a large front loader stored in the yard as if trying to engage it. He got a good look at one of the creatures, he said, a greenish-grayish being with large eyes and long legs. He says he could hear its deep breaths, and when he locked eyes, he was, in essence, frozen in place, couldn't move. In the middle of the yard, where the object had crashed, then vanished, a circular impression was left in the soil.
Okay, where is this on your property?
Metro sources say the police dispatcher initially wondered whether to send a crisis intervention team to help the troubled witness, but then took the incident seriously. 2 officers arrived 38 minutes after the call, and by then had heard from other officers. They proceeded cautiously and managed some nervous laughs.
I ain't dealing with that.
A few days later, the family says 2 Metro sergeants returned to the scene to ask follow-up questions. The family says they also saw men in suits and sunglasses driving in a car with government plates cruising slowly past the house in the following days. Nellis and Creech have denied any interest or involvement with the incident. Metro has indicated they believe the family that something crashed in their yard. But what?
Someone else has access to it.
You know, you mentioned, George, in that piece that, they were frozen because so many people have been critical of, like, why didn't they get their phone out? Why didn't they shoot the video? Do we know if there's even any video of this incident?
Yes and no. So there's a surveillance camera in the backyard. The property owner keeps that because he's got a lot of expensive equipment there. What we were told is that at the moment this thing comes down and crashed, this camera went out, and it was out for a couple of minutes. When it came back on, the object was gone, but the circle was there. We've been told by Angel in multiple phone conversations that he shot video of the creatures. We haven't seen it, and we don't know anybody else who's seen it yet, so maybe he'll release it at some point.
Now, what seems to be the issue here? What's going on here? Of course, to the nation, we know those are angelic beings. That's the angels. They didn't crash there. They landed there, okay? And people will try to make it seems like it's the gray alien or things like that. And that's not what that is. Those are EI, okay, external intelligences, okay. They live outside our sphere, which is outside of the earth. They need those somewhat secular objects to enter our atmosphere. All right, that has nothing to do with alien government doing experiment and those alien escape. Your so-called government do not have excuse me, technology to somewhat cut those alien or to force them, give them technology. You've been hearing this garbage since the 1940s. So if those alien, the so-called the gray, were locked up in Area 51 or 52, and where's the technology? iPhone? Because that's where we're stuck. We're stuck in iPhone. And people are saying AI. You've been having AI technology. They've been running AI since the 40s. You know, and AI is not an alien technology. AI is our technology, and the true name is EI, external intelligence. It means outside of our sphere. We live in the sphere of the zone girdling the earth. There's 7 more sphere that is above us. Okay, there's the sphere girdling the moon, the sphere girdling Mercury, Madim and all that, the sun and stuff. Each of those sphere, they have people and life in them. People just like we are watching in the news right there. And they have one sphere that is below us, the lower sphere, which is on Earth, below our Earth, which is certain sphere. Pat Robertson is there chilling with his family members and stuff like that. And then he's waiting for Jimmy Carter to come and then join the party. But the point is, what you are hearing here, the guy name that reported this here, his name is Angel. To the nation, this is a message unto us. You know, this is a message of lending. This is a message of chariot lending, circular lending. And we're not going to take their stories or just alien and stuff like that. Okay. One thing I want to point out, when they said this thing is 8 foot tall. Let me see if I can get a video that we show here like multiple times. Okay, now because of the... Is it? Yes, it is. All right. We play this video all the time, okay? And we've been playing this video for years now. And this, let's just enlarge this. So this is a video of Dr. Norman Bergeron. Okay, this guy worked for NASA, man. And before I go further, what you're calling NASA, they are well aware of what's going on out there, beloved, okay? They're not going to sit there and tell you the truth. Of course, they're going to tell you there's no such thing as alien. And if there is alien, you know, they don't look like us. They look like a bunch of, you know, green guys running around. And we'll tell you what those green guys are, okay? Now, again, this is just a point of reference because they are talking about 8 feet, 9 feet tall, 10 feet tall. But let's listen to that.
The idea that those vehicles contain, you know, beings who are, you know, maybe like us.
Okay, she's asking the doctor, like, okay, if you have those pictures, okay, the ring around Saturn, which is the book. Now, will it be possible that those things that you say that are making the ring around Saturn, for those of you that study with us, you know what Shabbatai is. Shabbatai is the highest planet with the heaviest planet with the heaviest metal, and the ring around it is being made by certain things, okay? Shabbatai is the house of the Black George, and this guy know that. He know the beings that live in there, but he is very uncomfortable answering the question.
Yeah, I only go along with government images. And if you want to know about people kind of thing, there is the ship that picked up the Voyager capsule at Alameda Naval Shipyard. And they have a picture there of I think it's
you can see how he's very nervous. He's very careful not to answer the question, but he's like, hey, they gotta know the truth, okay? When he said there's a picture there, listen, NASA have billions of dollars at their disposal. They don't have this camera that you have in your phone, those black and white or gray pictures. They have high definition H. Not only they have photos, they have more videos of those things, okay? Things that are high quality, like Hollywood doesn't even have those things, but NASA does.
The Apollo flight, the Buzz and Neil were on. But anyway, there's one image there that shows black people getting off.
So people with dark skin getting off.
Not dark, black.
Black skin.
Really black. Yeah.
Were they tall?
Yes.
Very tall.
Were they tall? Very tall.
There's one image there
that shows black people getting off. There's one image. She tried to deviate what he said. Like, you mean dark skin? So they can say, oh, those are white people with kind of like suit, dark suit, or like tan, or they look Indian. Those are like East Indian or some kind of like, I don't know, some white European with dark skin and stuff. But he said no, black.
People with dark skin getting off.
No, not black, because he know what she tried to say when she said dark skin. That dark mean everyone, but he said no, black, Negro, that the people we enslaved, they're over there.
Black skin.
Really black. So she could have expanded on that, but she like, oh, were they tall?
Were they tall?
Yes. There's one image there.
That shows black people getting off.
So people with dark skin getting off.
Not dark, black.
Black skin.
Really black.
Really black. Dark
Were
skins.
they tall?
Yes.
Now, so that's one thing that I want to bring out with those, excuse me, those dark skin and people and stuff like that. Oof, I'm not in my computer. There's this book that we have here. Let me see if I can get it. All right. Well, in this book, Gods of the New Millennium, they're talking about the Negroid Olmecs and the 9 feet tall, the 10 feet tall people that they are seeing. I believe if we look for the word Ham, Shem. Okay, let's look for the word Shem. Ham. Let's look for a Ham, because they always classify us as Ham. Ham, dark skin. The Sumerian text stated the chaotic final battle of summer was fought and hosted by Elamite troops against the overwhelming numbers of invading Amorites. These Amorites were destined to become the first dynasty and new kingdom of Babylon. Who were the Amorites, and why did they support Marduk? Since the invasion of Sumer came from the west, it is not very helpful to find the term Amorite derived from the Akkadian word Amuru, simply means Westerners. Biblical studies, however, have identified the Amorites as the dominant tribe among the Canaanites, and thus descending from the line of Ham. The final battle, according to the Bible, the 3 sons of Noah, Shem, Ham, and Japheth, took separate territories. And what did they say? Ham, he was hot. Okay. A major clue lies in the names of Noah's sons, particularly the name Ham or Ham, which means he who is hot, implied dark-colored skin. Furthermore, the location of the Hamitic tribes in the Table of Nations, Genesis 10, has been clearly identified by biblical scholars as the African lands. The Quran, too, is explicit and referring to separate nations on board Noah's Ark when it states, "Blessing upon thee, on the nations we flee." And They're talking about the tall black folks here, which of course they always put us with Ham and talk things like that. Of course, Noah was a giant himself. Ham, Shem, they were giants, which means they were much taller than we are. So this book, it's a couple $100 if you wish to get it, but on an archive, it's like basically free. So we are well aware that those things are our people, and if they were their people, if they were their alien, you won't hear anything about that. They would have stayed in their area 51, wherever they stay. And the way they say this thing happened, that's not how it happened. Okay, those things don't crash. Chariot don't crash. Okay, if they crash, you would have seen debris and stuff like that. Those things landed with camouflage. So for the people that study with us, you know how those things are far too advanced, and they can freeze you by just looking at you and render yourself, immobile, immovable, so to speak. But at the end of the day, all those things are servants. We are above them. We are immortal and they are not. That's the thing. They like to refer to you as mortal, or the gods created you to be slaves to work for them, when in fact it's the other way around. They are created to serve the gods. We are the gods. That is, if you study with us, you'll understand this. The so-called alien, aka EI, external intelligences, they are created to serve us. They have knowledge in their hand we can get, but only a certain people. And that's why we are studying. Those things are nothing but our people, the angels, are in the midst, and they are sending messages. So that's all I'm going to say about that. And I don't like doing those things because Gentiles always come in the midst, try to muddy the water. But we know for a fact those things, they are for us, and they are coming, and they are here. There's nothing. This thing that landed, it's not like it went back where it come from. It just cloaked itself somewhere. Okay, we have, if you go to our YouTube channel, okay, we do this all the time. Shalom. Okay, oh boy, this is gonna take me a while to find. A while ago, brother Tretel over there in Australia sent us images of let me see if I can go a little bit faster. So I can't. Send us images of the chariot posted over there, and Australia. He was going to work, and you can see those things. Like, for instance, that is an intelligence. This is, of course, a depiction. This is not evil, okay? This is not, oh, this is some kind of gray evil alien. No, this is a depiction of form that they take. All right, if you know what to say to them, what to do, they are very obedient. They will get you knowledge that are beyond any human being. Okay, those are other intelligences. Of course, we study with those are of the zone of the inhabitant, and then the fire water where they reside. You can click the link to join us. Okay, so those are intelligences. All right. They look like this. Those are servants. All right, they serve us. You don't know how much power that you have over those things. Okay, but anyway, so let me see if I can get okay, those are intelligences. They took forms. All right, they can stand in the, well, not in a circle, but in the triangle. Okay, here we go. Intelligences, external intelligences. They look like that too. Okay, they can take any form, and they look like this based on what we are studying. That's external intelligence. Okay, external intelligence. Okay, that's how they look. All right, they are super advanced and super smart and things like that. So it's gonna be all the way down there where the brother was going to work, and he lifted up his head and he saw, and he lifted up his head. No, that's another thing. And he saw this thing in the midst of the sky. Okay, those are the undines. Okay, they can take form of trees. Well, you call them nymph. Okay, those are the people that live in the water element. This is a depiction of them. All right. Okay, all right, this is how they look. They can take many forms. All right, those are intelligences, so to speak. All right, let's see. Those are the sylph. All right, the undines, what you're calling the mermaids, the sylph again, and the salamanders and salamanders. Okay, okay, those are the undines. All right, they are quite beautiful though, you know, based on the description that we find, and that's how we created this thing. Here we go. That's brother Tretel right there. Okay, Shalom Big Levi, it's Tretel. So this home from work. You see, look at the contour or the perimeter of these things. All right, this was sent to us 2 months ago. All right, just to prove a point, those things don't just come and leave. Look at the shape of this thing. They cloak themselves and waiting on the exact day. Okay, this is also generated. This is our people making that. All right, so those things are here. All right, those things are here. Sister Linda Worshon, she had made transition. Okay, the sister made transition. We pray for the sister. That was like 2 months ago. But anyway, those are intelligences. And based on the description of things that we were studying, they can look anyhow. But anyway, so those are the suits that when you go to their realms, you can see they are underwater, but yet they feel like they're breathing air. And that's how it is when you go to the kingdom of the Undines. So it's water, but you can actually breathe, you know, because the water is like, it's breathable, so to speak. All right, it's breathable. Okay, we study a lot of magic, man. Well, it's to the Gentiles and the people, it's magic, but to us, it's the energy manipulation, knowledge of all knowledge, the suits, the body, the light body suit. When you go into another, for instance, if you go into the 28th station of the moon, you will need a body like that, a body of light to get there. Those are intelligence depiction. Okay. All right, giant lion. Black Doctor Strange, you know, we'll need those body suits, and if you need to get there and things like that. And those are depiction of our people wearing certain armors and things like that. Well, those are Shemeshite with the gold and all that stuff. Those are Levanahites. Those are the Levanahites, and wearing silver and white. Gold and silver, white and silver, those are Levanahites. Okay, those are Judites. Strong Judite brother control lightning with his lion, with his lightning lion. This is a brother training with a lion. You know, crazy. But anyway, so that's what it is. Those are experiment and things like that. Things we find through studies. Anyway, beloved, thank you for watching. I'll see you whenever the Mighty One says so. Remember, study to show thyself approved. You don't need to bind yourself by the Bible only. They have many other books out there. Don't listen to people telling you you're going astray, you're going to hell. No, you're seeking wisdom. You are being called. If you stumble upon this channel, you are being called. Okay, you have entities out there that have knowledge in their hand that they are ordered to give them unto you, if you can handle those type of knowledge. Salam.